Good afternoon. Those who are watching me right now here in the UK at 1 p.m. or maybe you are somewhere else in the world. Please do let me know where are you joining me from today, because I would love to make sure that this message inspires, motivates and educates people all the way around the world. That would be an absolute blessing, because what can be better than actually knowing that you made the difference? And together, we definitely can make that difference. Today, I will be speaking about the importance of being a good coach. And specifically, I'll be speaking about 7 mistakes every coach must avoid. Of course, there are so many different coaches in the world, and of course, surely coaching industry right now is experiencing almost like over flooding, over population, same like what we experience in the world. And I must say that actually it is really important to make sure, if you want to enter this industry, in that case, you are a really good coach. Of course, nobody is born to be a good coach, and we all know coaching skills can be natural, such as listening, such as willing to understand the situation, such as being helpful and being willing to help. However, that's not enough. And I would love to hear from those who are watching me right now, whether it is LinkedIn, YouTube or Facebook. Please do let me know whether you have worked with a coach. Have you ever worked with a coach, and how was your experience? Let's be completely transparent here, let's be open and let's be honest, because what can be better than actually learning from each other? So please do share in your comments below whether you have worked with a coach before. And also, of course, please make sure, share your location, just like Pranavji just now. He said he's watching me all the way from India, which is exciting, because ideally, of course, I would love to make sure that this message is going across the world and many more people can get inspired. So let's go straight away into 7 mistakes to avoid when you want to be a really good coach. And again, let me just tell you that these are my observations based on me coaching other coaches, right? It's not something I came up with just out of the blue. It's not something I woke up this morning and I was thinking, you know what, are there any mistakes coaches doing or not? Some of them I made myself, and some others I simply observed from coaching other coaches. And let me answer your question straight away. Why would I coach other coaches? They are my competitors. The truth is, there's enough sun for everybody. And there's enough of energy, there's enough of clients, there's enough of potential for absolutely everybody in the world. And that's why it's important for me to help many more other people, simply because I know together we can empower each other and we can make a huge difference in the world. So that's the reason why I coach other coaches. Thank you so much, Maria. I can see you join me on YouTube. That's so great to see you. Maria is one of my regular ladies who is joining me very often on YouTube. But lately I was missing you, lady. And I guess because you were back to work, which I totally understand. Of course, everybody's back to work right now. Okay, so let's go into 7 mistakes to avoid when you actually are a coach, right? And when you would like to be a phenomenal, great, really strong, the coach who is recommended by absolutely everybody. All right? So first mistake, which I notice very often when I coach other coaches, is them not listening for long enough. That's why I put this as mistake number 1 to avoid, because I would like to address it again and again. It is important to avoid this particular mistake, because when you don't let your client to finish off, this is when unfortunately you miss out on the most important information. You miss out on the most important insecurities, beliefs. And the most crucial part here, you are missing out on what subconscious of your client is telling you. Okay, please remember, there are always 3 people in your coaching session if you coach somebody one-to-one. That's you, That's your client conscious, and there's your client's subconscious, right? And that subconscious is what we want to talk to, what we are listening to, and we're gathering all the information to translate to our clients. What is the situation all about, or what do you hear in order to help them, right? So here I called hear whilst you listen. Simply hear. You have 2 ears and you can hear what clients are telling you all about, right? So let's learn how to hear. The way how I do it, and I'm happy to share with you how I do it. When I listen to my clients, I build a matrix, right? Remember the movie Matrix, right? Where the green numbers were going down the screen? That's exactly what I build my matrix in my mind. That's why I don't get emotional. That's why I don't get drained. That's why I don't feel like, oh my God, I've worked with 7 clients today. Because I work with clients internationally within different time zones. And sometimes I start at 7 o'clock in the morning and sometimes I finish at 11 p.m., right? Because of time differences. Of course, I have plenty of time for myself so I can rejuvenate and do my own routine and everything else. But if I would get attached to every client, and if I would get emotional with every client, I wouldn't be able to serve my next client. That's why what I learned is to detach and build my matrix in my mind. When I listen to my clients, I build matrix, I build jigsaw, I build puzzle, whichever way you want to call it. But I connect whatever he says or she says to particular events in his life, which I already know of, or I put them into departments. So almost build like a mind map, if you want to call it. This helps me to not get attached. As a result, I don't really get emotional, right? Because I had my clients sobbing and sobbing and sobbing in front of me. And those who are actually my clients, you will know, right, that I'm watching you and I'm awaiting for what you are saying. I'm not crying with you. I'm not feeling exhausted. I'm there for you to serve you. And therefore, I don't connect with you on an emotional level, because my role is not to cry with you like your best friend. My role there is to hear what exactly is happening, right? So we can solve this situation. All right. So please remember that you must learn how to hear within listening, right? Listen and hear those particular words and phrases they say. For example, I always used to be, I never be, I had to be, I'm generally, right? Listen to keywords which will tell you, right, where clients is stuck. Right? This is really important. So let's avoid this mistake of not listening. Always allow your time, the time for your client to finish off their sentence. Always allow your clients to really release everything. And even that, just hold a little bit. It's almost like you hold for a little bit to make sure they're finished. You know what's interesting? Especially when you give them the time to talk. We call it with my clients rambling. When you give them time to ramble, they will give so much information. And imagine the excitement of my clients when they have this time to ramble. For some women, it's more important than for men because it's a more feminine side or more feminine trait. When they have this time to ramble, they come up with their own revelations. And that is so extremely powerful. So sometimes all you have to do is just actually allow them to speak, right? So please, if you are still learning, if you're still improving your coaching skills, allow them to ramble, right? Let's make sure you learn how to do it. Okay, and it will do a great favor to me if you will start practicing these skills, even with your friends right now, with your loved ones, with your partner, right? Learn how to listen, hold a pause, and then start, right? That's it. I know it will be a bit unnatural in the beginning, but you will get used to it. Diana says, so good to be here. Oh, thank you, Diana, for joining me as well. And Ihsan joined me from Iran and more people joining. Thank you so much. So much. I'm so grateful to you guys that you're actually with me today, because today we're speaking about something important. 7 mistakes to avoid, right? When you are a coach, and how to become a really good coach. So here I would like to go to the second mistake which people often do when they actually are becoming coaches, or when they're already young coach and they want to expand their coaching practice. This is forcing clients, right? Some coaches are forcing their clients to progress, to achieve something, to go to the next stage, right? And I can see the comment here is from Maimona on Facebook saying, as a new coach, this is so powerful. And I'm so grateful you joined me, because I would love to serve you in a better way so you can actually learn and you can serve so many people all the way in Pakistan, where I can see your base. So please apply this. This is something what I remember I made as a mistake myself, right? Being a very new to coaching world, I actually was making this mistake, knowing that my clients could achieve so much more, they could do so much more, they had so much potential. I'll be the one who will be like, oh, but you can do more, you can do faster, you can do better. And I was forgetting that everybody has their own path and they have their own pace. So here we have to respect that. There's nothing more powerful than for clients to come at their own pace to their own results, right? I know you believe in your clients, same I do believe in my clients. And clients are different stages with me. Somebody who started with me earlier, of course, they will do already greater progress by now than those who start just recently. But sometimes I will have somebody who started with me 2 weeks ago and they'll be shooting through, right? Because spiritually and mentally and at every other level, they are ready for that, okay? So let's remember, it is about allowing your clients to grow at their own pace. Just like there's a bonsai tree and there is a little green pea. You put them both in 2 different pots, you water them, you give them the same amount of sun. Guess what? People go through quicker rather than bonsai tree, right? So some of your clients, they might be your bonsai trees. Some other clients, they'll be your pea seeds, right? And that's why it's important to understand that you need to allow your clients to grow, to progress, to transform themselves at their own time. Respect it. You must respect your client's time. All right. Here I would like to give you an example. I already gave you my personal example, what I was doing myself as a young coach, but also there's an example of a client who came to work with me from another coach. That coach, and I'm not here blackmailing people, please understand, I'm just simply giving you examples, right? Because examples and stories are the best ways to learn from. So the previous coach of my client forced my client into buying out a business from parents, right? And that was something what I think so, and I assume, right, and I could be totally wrong, was something what the coach could see benefit from, right, buying a business from parents. However, that coach never recognized, don't know why, I don't know why, I'm not that coach, but that coach never recognized that the client never had any passion for that business. Right? Client was in that family business simply because he was in a family business, and it's not something what was fulfill him. So as a coach, during the first session, I simply asked him, because I could notice that something is not matching there. The way how he was speaking about his business wasn't really that exciting. And I simply asked the question, why exactly are you going into this deal of buying out your parents from this business? My client answered, my coach suggested me to do so. And this is like, brain got exploded in my head, right? No, we don't do that. Every decision in your client's life should benefit your client. This is not benefiting you. This is not about you. It is about your client and only your client benefit, right? So never force your clients to grow faster, to do more if they are not ready for that. What you will do in that case, you will scare them off. Okay, so allow your clients, respect the time which they're growing with, and don't force them into anything you believe in rather than them. Okay, it is their journey. So I wonder what you think about this so far. I hope you actually enjoy this. I like the comment here from Fiona. She says, I use Nancy cleaners time to think 10 components which facilitate the 2 you have mentioned so far beautifully. Thank you so much, Fiona. Really appreciate you mentioning that, and I really appreciate you actually mentioning this particular source. I will check it out. I never actually heard of Nancy Cleaners, but I will definitely check it out. I love learning new stuff. So thank you, darling. Really appreciate that. So I can see more people are joining us. Let me just tell you what I'm talking today about. Today it's about how to become a better coach, particularly 7 mistakes to avoid. All right. So let's go to mistake number 3. This is a mistake which I hear very often from new coaches as well. And let me explain to you how I hear them. When I coach coaches, I ask them to record sessions, right? I don't ask them to record visual sessions. I ask them to record audio sessions so I can hear and I can understand what exactly is happening during the sessions, okay? I never store them. I never disclose them. I never even ask for any details about the client. I simply listen to what exactly coaches are doing during the sessions, okay? And of course, we discuss many other details, what they do post-sessions, what they do pre-sessions, and everything else, right? Chayla says, good morning, love this. I'm so glad, darling, you enjoy this. Thank you so much for joining me. So the next mistake, which I hear very, very often, is made by new coaches, and something what I also did is lack of patience, right? Lack of patience, not allowing your clients to come up with their answers, come up with their results, come up with their homeworks, come up with anything else, right? This is going really, really close together with your listening skill and you not forcing your client. All right. So this is something what you definitely need to practice, right? I know sometimes it can be quite, I wouldn't say the word annoying, but it could be quite interesting sometimes to sit and wait until your client will finish or to wait until your client will answer your question. And here I would say, practice patience. Just practice and practice your patience because your client, again, is on their own journey. This is not your journey, okay? So it is totally wrong to jump in with, but let me tell you about me, right? It's not about you. Forget about yourself. It is not about you. Your clients will ask you sometimes, did you have something like this? Did you overcome something like that? Have you been there before, okay? Or you can ask, all right, can I bring you some examples, right? Or if your client is telling you eventually, I struggle to find some examples or I struggle to find, what relates to, then you can say, okay, let me bring you a couple of examples, right? Sometimes your clients will need a little nudge, a little push with giving some ideas which direction to go in terms of thinking way, right? But please practice your patience, right? Please practice your patience and give your clients that precious time, right? Which will serve you as a coach. Once you give the time to your clients, once you're practicing your patience, you will find your coaching sessions will become more effective. All right? So I will write it to the mistake number 4, which I have seen very often across social media, which I have seen quite often applied by many coaches when they were describing that to me and when I was listening to their sessions. It is applying the same method of coaching across everybody. And here I can't address importance of this mistake, right? We all are so different. We all have different ways of thinking. There are 4 different types of clients, right? There are 7 human needs which you need to know about, right? There are 5 love languages which you need to be aware of, right? There are things like a way and forward thinking. There's so many things which you need to remember about when you work with each individual. And when you start measuring every client and when you start treating every client with the same method of your coaching, with the same way of your coaching, that it's almost like giving the same medicine to all people without really checking whether they need it or not, right? Without really changing the dosage, right? Every person will react differently. And here I must say, this is something what comes with practice. Okay, of course, in the beginning, there'll be so much information to hold in your head, and you might be quite overwhelmed because there's so much to learn about, right? But that's why learning is so powerful, which I will go to in a minute, right? But please, please, please never apply exactly the same what you did with the previous client to your next client and the next client and the next client, right? Because everybody is so different. Everybody is at different stages of their lives. Everybody is different in terms of how fast they want to move on. Everybody's different in terms of what they experienced. Everybody's different in the way how they get motivated, right? So you cannot really apply the same method across everybody, right? It's just like a hairdresser will do the same haircut for literally everybody. Just imagine what it will look looking like, right? So please don't do that, right? I know you might have something similar across all clients, right? Of course, there'll be something what you will do with majority of clients, right? Because of the way you are, because this is your style, right? So style and method are two different things. And I think one of the best examples here is to bring driving in here, right? So when you learn how to drive, you learn rules how to drive. You learn the theory and you learn the practice. But then as you start driving, you develop your own driving style, right? However, when you are in a different cars, you drive differently, right? Because brakes are different, because the acceleration is different, because how fast the car can go is different, right? Because the mirrors are, everything is so different, right? Because the size of the car and the vehicle, if it is a lorry or if it is a small car, it's different, right? But imagine if you will drive the same way across all vehicles, probably you will crash, right? So I would say this probably is one of the best examples how to remember. Have your own style, but use different methods with different type of clients, okay? And learn, and learn. Did I say learn? Learn as much as you can. This is what I would say, okay? Because it's one of the mistakes which I will talk about later on, but I would like you to remember about this, okay? It's important to use your own style, but using different methods with different clients, okay? To match what they are like, okay? Because again, it's about them, it's not about you, okay? Are you ready to the mistake number 5? And I wonder so far, which one was your favorite one? And also think about it. Which one have you spotted within yourself? Have you recognized yourself in one of these mistakes, right? Have you made any of these already, right? Whether you are a coach or maybe you worked with a coach before, right? Have you came across one of these 4 mistakes which I mentioned so far? Okay, now I would like to go into the next session. Like Fiona, you're saying a lovely analogy. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. I just really like to give people some examples and stories and analogies, as you mentioned, because sometimes it's slightly easier to understand. But thank you so much, Fiona. I really appreciate you watching this video as well and joining me. Thank you so much. And thank you so much, everybody who is saying hi and hellos. I'm not going to read all hellos because I just want to give you as much value as I can in this condensed time. But please feel free to share where you're located at and also whether you came across these mistakes or if you have done this mistake in the past. Because as you can see, I'm sharing openly if I have made those, right? And I actually have made those mistakes. And one of the mistakes which I have made myself as well as a coach was actually focusing primarily on goals. As we all know, probably you heard this phrase, I'm a coach. Ooh, you're a coach. What do you do? Well, I take my clients from where they are now to where they want to be. This is the most common phrase coaches are using, and this is probably the most accurate description of what coaches are doing as a job, right? As their job description. However, when we focus on only getting to our goals with the client, what happens, you forget one little tiny thing. That if client would know, right, and would be fully capable of getting to their goals before they met you, they would do it, right? That would do it. It's not the lack of direction clients are suffering from. It is lack of understanding what stopped them before and how to overcome those limitations. And what I hear very often is exactly what I did before. Is what was like, okay, what you would like to achieve. Okay, you want to do X, Y, Z. Let's make a plan. What you would like to do. Okay, let's do 3 steps how you can achieve it. X, Y, Z. And then plan comes to the next time. Like, I haven't done it. And you feel like, why? And they are stuck because you never worked with them on that particular nitty-gritty, that particular thing, what was stopping them before, right? So it is important to find out what exactly stopped them before, right? Bring out some examples. Ask them how did they, if they want to achieve X, Y, Z in this area, take them away from this area, take them to another area of life, and ask them, how did you achieve something similar in another area? And they will tell you exactly what they did. And they will tell you exactly what they haven't done and why they haven't done it. And there's the answer. Simple as that, right? Help them to understand themselves better. Help them to get to nitty-gritty why they haven't done it before. Because that will empower them. That will be revelation for them. That will be a new discovery about them. And they will say like, oh my God, I never thought that's exactly what was stopping me before, right? And I hear, as I can see here, a message from Diana. She says, I really enjoy shifting my method with each client. Good girl. For me, the coaching process is a supremely personal one. So connecting in a way that works best with each client is such an honor. I so agree with you. I made the mistake of focusing like a laser on goals and failing to pay attention to all the other stuff that was coming up in the sessions. Exactly. Because you miss out. And what happens, your clients will move on because now they're accountable to you and now they're all inspired and motivated and they will achieve. But guess what will happen? They will level up a little bit and they will be stuck again because they never overcame that particular stuff, as Diana says, what stopped them before, right? So it's really, really important to figure out with your clients what exactly stopped them before. And that could be a simple story. That could be something like, you know, they go back and back to the experiences, what they had before, right? For example, I'll give you this example in between my client. So with this client particularly work on the business and also private life, right? And this client tells me, Olga, you know, and business, I'm so good, right? I achieve and X, Y, Z and everything is done and everything is, you know, like the way I want it to be. But when I look at my private life, especially in the household, especially at home, I'm so behind with everything, right? And the reason why I asked him about his business and give me the similarity between business and private life, because we were talking about how overwhelmed he is with everything and how much he needs to do in the house and with the child. And he was a single dad and I was challenging for him. And he was just all over the board with, you know, feeling this anxiety. And that's why I asked him, okay, tell me the similarity between your business and your life, okay? Your business life and your private life. And I simply asked him this question, okay, why do you think you succeed so well in your business? He thought for a moment and he said, that's because I have a team. Like, okay. And how does it relate to your private life? That's it. That's what I asked him. And he was like, oh, Olga, that's because I do everything on my own. That was revelation. It was a simple but so powerful revelation to him. Now he has a cleaner. Now he has people who help him with other stuff around the house. Before he was to do gardening and plumbing and cleaning and cooking and childcare and everything else. But he got so much better with asking for help. That was something we had to overcome with him, right? Because in the work environment, he felt he's paying somebody to do the job. But in the private environment, he felt like he's annoying and he's disrupting other people's lives. And he is, you know, being kind of person who is not capable of doing things on his own. And as a result, he was asking for help. So for us, it was to work on his belief that it is a weakness to ask for help, right? It was for him to understand the power of giving other people the importance when we ask them for help, right? Giving other people the chance to be involved in our lives, giving other people to actually opportunity to shine in what they're best at because you ask them for help, right? So can you see how from simple question, okay, give me the example between your business and your private life, we went to so many underlying, and I call them undercurrent issues, right, in our subconscious. And that was really powerful how this particular client, he was able to relate to them, he was able to find them because I simply just guided him, right? But imagine if here I would tell him, no, what you gonna do in your private life? Okay, and I will give him my ideas, or maybe I would just tell him, okay, what would you like to achieve in your private life? He would say, I would like to get more clarity. Okay, how can you get more clarity? 3 steps. That wouldn't serve him, right? Because he wouldn't get to the understanding of what was stopping him before. And why it is so powerful? Because that revelation of asking for help, now he can apply across many other aspects of his life, right? Across many other areas of his life. And that's why it's so important to help your clients to get to nitty-gritty why they haven't achieved something before. All right. So please make sure, instead of pushing your clients to come up with strategy and what they're going to do and steps and being accountable, make sure you do ask some questions about why they haven't done it before. It will be really powerful. I can see here a comment from Linda Sage saying, hey, lovely lady, you are looking good. Thank you so much, my darling. Really appreciate that. And I must say, you always looking good as well, which is wonderful. You're a wonderful role model. So thank you so much for joining me today. I must say, here we're going to mistake number 6. And so far, I would love to hear, have you been relating to any of these mistakes I mentioned so far, right? Have you done any of them? Have you come across any of them, right? It is so painful when I hear my clients saying, I work with somebody and that's what happened. It really, really upsets me so much. What I wish to have is lots of coaches in the world who are super powerful. That's why I'm here helping you today to understand mistakes which other coaches did, which also I did, so you can be so much better as a coach and you can transform so many other lives, right? Let's do it together, because together we can make a difference. Okay, so let's go to mistake number 6, which is not learning. Okay, here it's almost like a double mistake, right? Which probably I can put 6 and 7 into together, right? Learning or not learning, right? I would say, please learn as much as possible, right? That will be probably the most important message. Please learn as much as possible, right? As much as possible. Did I say as much as possible? The reason why I say that, and the reason why I want to address it, because the more you learn, I like to add this, the more you earn, right? But it's not only financially. Please understand that when I mean the more you earn, it's not only about money. It is the more you earn of your reputation, the more you earn of respect, the more you earn of self-belief, right? It is important for you to learn more in order to serve more and better, right? When you are staying happy with what you have, what you gain from one-on-one qualification, this is when you're limiting yourself to helping only those type of people who can be helped at your level. Let me here give you an example. Imagine if there's like levels, like a building of 10 levels, right? If you're at level 1, you can only help those people who hear you at level 1, right? That's it. When you go to level 2, right, you can now deliver a message to people at level 1 and level 2. And imagine nobody can hear level 3, 4, and 5, okay? Imagine it's just not possible. Just imagine for a moment. I know the noise is going everywhere, but just imagine it is not possible, right? So when you go to level number 3, you can help to people level 1, 2, and 3, and so on. So the more you level up, the more people you can help, right? Simple is that. I can hear there is Powerful message from Fiona. Tagging Peter Moles, one of my favorite coaches. This is a great checkup, even just to affirm that we are getting it right. These reminders are great. Oh, thank you, Fiona, please. And yes, absolutely, everybody else. And thank you, Fiona, for this idea. Everybody else, please tag other people whom you think it will be very, very passionate about this and they'll be willing to grow. And even if it is just a reminder, okay, please tag as many people as you want. There's no limitations. Please do it because ideally we want to inspire many other people, okay? Here's another comment from Cheryl. She says, I would love to learn from you. Oh, thank you, darling. I'm about to learn nutritional coaching and I never realized there is so much to know. Thank you for these heads up. Darling, thank you so much for this comment. I appreciate that. And Diana also says, I'm passionate about leveling up. It is so important. You see, this mistake which people do very often is not learning enough, right? They don't learn enough. They go to qualification. Now they think, that's it. I can go into being a coach and I can just ask powerful questions. I can focus on the goal and then my clients will just, explode. They will have tremendous success. And I would say, nope. Right? You'll be able to help to a selected amount of people. If you want to help more, learn more. However, here's another side to this mistake. Some coaches, they hide forever behind learnings. Let me repeat again. They hide forever behind their learnings. Okay? The reason why I say it so slow, which is not natural to me, and why I repeated it twice, because I've seen so many coaches being afraid to step up and start coaching because they felt not being good enough, right? That imposter syndrome is so destroying, right? It's not about helping the entire world, right? Once you got your qualifications, of course, learn more, but start your journey. Just like when you get the driving license, that card, the driving license card, and you're told now you can drive on your own. You put a sticker on, the L sticker, right? Showing other people that you are a new driver, right? And you start driving around carefully, right? The same do with coaching, right? Don't shout around that you are a super powerful coach who coach celebrities, which is like, well, if you coach celebrities, you don't really shout about this because they don't really want to know about that, all right? And so many other things. It is about actually sticking to who you are. If it is what you specifically do, okay, it's fine. It's how you coach yourself. You call yourself celebrity coach, right? But some people talk about like from this to that. It's like, well, your reputation will talk better than your shouting, right? But please remember, when you qualified, start your journey already. Right? The more you will delay, the bigger imposter syndrome you will grow within yourself, right? Start your journey straight away, okay? And help those whom you feel you can help. Get better, learn, improve yourself. And this way you actually can grow as a coach, all right? So please avoid this mistake, like not learning, but also please avoid this mistake of learning all the time and not serving. You were given this special talent and a gift of coaching in order to help others. Okay, that's important to remember. Then it says, Fiona Brennan Scott, I'm going to look for Nancy's clearest time to think now. Thanks for this tip. Thank you, Diana. I really appreciate your comment because it's exactly what I will do as well. Cheryl says, oh my God, I feel like that would be me. Cheryl, I must say, yes, it is important to learn. But yes, please avoid forever learning. And I called forever learning coaches, right? And I had so many of them. You know what's so powerful? When you actually ask those coaches who are already qualified and they know something, and you ask them, okay, what do you know now? What you didn't know before? And it's powerful what they say, I know about this, I know about that, I know about this. And when I ask them this question, do you think you could actually help your clients with just that? They say, yeah. So, what you waiting for? Right? You don't have to now to help everybody in the world, but you can help as far as you grew so far. Right? That's it. So please Learn as much as you can because you can earn more than not only material stuff, but also others, right? Emotional and many other things like reputation and yada yada. But please don't end up in a forever learning experience, a forever learning journey. Like, don't be forever learning coach, okay? Do your job. Start doing your job at your level and then level up, okay? And the way how you can recognize these people who actually are new, but they talk too much because they can't really deliver, okay? Unfortunately, I came across once this coach. That person, I don't want to really even reveal the gender because I do feel like very responsible to what I say, right? That's confidentiality person inside of me, like I have confidentiality hot on me, right? And when I was speaking to that particular person, we were discussing, how we're gonna get along and what we're gonna work on. And I remember the question which I had, right, which I would like to work on, wasn't really resolved in the entire session. I was like, well, I don't really understand. Like, clearly I'm a coach and I have you as my coach to work on this. And we didn't even grasp along that. So off we go, we finished the session and I sat down with myself and I took myself on my own self-coaching journey, which I do on a regular basis, right? And I took myself through my method of my style of coaching. And within 15 minutes, I was like, that's why, right? So it was quite powerful how I did it myself, right? Rather than with that particular person. And here I realized afterwards why. The person wasn't ready for that level, right? The person wasn't ready yet to really get that deep with clients, right? And most likely it was a new coach, right? I don't blame that person. All I can say is just you need to really understand, right? That you as a coach, you are there to serve people at that level, which they will come to you at, right? Don't be afraid of starting serving people, right? Step up onto your journey. It's a beautiful mission you're on. Start helping people, but don't ever stop learning, okay? Learn forever, but don't end up on a forever journey, okay? I hope you understand that. So here we are going to the tip number 7, which is really powerful, and probably some people will not relate to that. Some people will, okay? We are all different coaches. We all do different coaching. We all do coaching in different way, okay? However, it's important to remember that there are some powerful tools which will help you during your coaching journey, right? I'm not sure how you do your coaching. That's entirely up to you, right? Whether you do it over the phone, face-to-face, over the video call, right? But I must say, keeping notes is really important, right? Many coaches don't keep notes. They call themselves, I'm not a counselor. And I'm saying, yeah, that's fine. But I really doubt you can ever remember what your client told you 3 sessions ago and how that particular message could relate to today's message, right? Some coaches, you'll be surprised, and if you do keep notes, please give me a thumbs up because I would like to see that, right? But some coaches, believe me or not, they really don't make any notes because they say it like, I'm not a therapist, I'm not a counselor. And I always say, well, why it's something to do with labeling, right? When you make a note, and it doesn't have to be the entire session, right? But when you make these little scribbles, when you make these little notes, that means you are capable to help your client to understand where they were before. And here I would like to bring you an example. What was interesting, Diana says, thumbs up for keeping notes. That's powerful. Thank you so much, Diana. So a client of mine, it was literally yesterday. So a client of mine, she was so excited. We are talking about we just had the session and we're talking about, what was done between the sessions. And she is so excited and she's just, using your hands because she's so over the moon of your progress. And she says, she's so happy that where she's now, and especially because she met somebody at her work. And that particular person says, well, I'm kind of feel negative and I don't really know what's going to happen because of the situation, coronavirus, right? The lockdown and everything else. And then my client says, well, but you don't have to be negative. You can change, you can uplift yourself. And that particular person said, well, no, I don't think so. We can ever change. And my client, you should see her eyes, honestly. She jumped into the screen. She says, oh my God. And I said to her, of course you can. Everybody can change. And as I listened to her, I just quickly went through the notes and I went to first ever session. And I read there exactly what she said to me. When she finished her amazing fireworks of emotions, I asked her, but do you remember what exactly you told me on session number 1? And she was like, oh, no, that was some time ago, which is true. We started working prior to the lockdown. She was coming to my office in the beginning, and then we went onto the Zoom sessions, right? And she says, no, Olga, don't. And I read to her word by word. I said, Olga, I don't think so. I will ever be able to change. And she just sat back like, wow, did I really say that? I said, yeah, it's written here. It's like, wow. Wow. And she just was blown away by this, her own revelation, right? She was like, wow, was it really me saying that? And her words were, wow, that means I made such a journey, such a huge progress. And I said, of course you did. Of course you did. This is what we're discussing every time. But it was so powerful for her to find out exactly what was told before, right? That she was blown away by that. And then she told me something like, Olga, I really would love to inspire so many other people, to really step up for themselves and grow more. And, what you do is so amazing. I would love to do what you do. I'm not saying I will do it. And I was like, why not? You can try and you can do it yourself. And it was so empowering for her to see that I'm actually quite accepting and supportive of this idea of her empowering other people, right? So let's remember that's really, really important to keep notes. Again, if you're going to spend your time now scrolling the entire session, you're not going to listen to your clients, right? So learn how to do mind maps, right? I do mind maps, right? And this is how I just literally will put few words, right? And that's exactly what I know I will be using later on, right? I don't make notes for the sake of just notes. I make notes of stuff which I know I will be loving and I would love to remind my clients about, right? Or something what you would like to actually go back to and, sometimes to remind your clients, but do you remember? Do you remember that was your story? Because clients do forget sometimes, okay? Diana says, I'm not superhuman. I need my notes. Exactly. We're not superhumans. Simple as that. Okay, so in that case, let's go to the next tip, okay? This is the last tip of today, tip number 7. Is it right? Yeah, I think it's tip number 7. So, this is something what I came across, not only when I was listening to the sessions or talking with my clients, but also when my clients were coming from other coaches. Leaving your clients in a low zone is a no zone, right? Please remember that, okay? Whenever your clients are working with you, always make sure you end up session on a high, okay? Remember this, low zone is a no zone, okay? We don't want to go to the no zone, okay? No low zones with your clients, okay? Generally, of course, as probably you know already, depending what type of coaching you do and depending what type of coach you are, but you will notice that there are ups and downs in every coaching session, right? There are some more emotional, less emotional people. There are more emotional sessions, less emotional sessions, right? But you will have some deeps, right? You will have some really dives with your clients. And finish off your session at this dive is a no zone. Absolutely no, because they'll leave your session feeling all exhausted, feeling all drained, feeling all like, ugh, there was no point. Now I feel worse, right? You don't want that, okay? And now to some of it will sound like, oh, that's obvious. I know, to me too, right? But not for others, right? So let's remember that here it's important to remember a low zone is a no zone with your clients, okay? Always make sure you uplift your clients before you finish off the session, okay? You uplift them and you help them to get back on track, right? It's either going back to like, oh my God, I love what you said at the beginning of the session. I'm so amazed about your progress. I'm so proud of you. Tell me how it feels like. What do you think about yourself, right? It could be anything. I'm not sure how you use it. I'm not sure what you do at the minute. But I would say, please make sure you always bring your clients back onto the high, right? Because you want your clients to leave the session being empowered, being inspired, being motivated, right? Because then the more chances they will do the tasks you agreed to do, whether it is a homework you call it, whether it is just steps or action plans, whatever you call it, that's entirely up to you, right? But obviously it's important to remember. Diana says it can be really obvious and then still happen. So vital to manage the time and the flow of the session, especially towards the end, so that it ends on a high. Exactly. Absolutely right. That's why when I work with my clients, my sessions are up to an hour. However, I do have half an hour gap, right? Because I do know that sometimes, and I had some cases, oh my God, I had some cases, right? People were absolutely in pieces, right? And we were rebuilding them, right? Because some situations I've worked with where it's like almost like you can't make it up, right? You can't make it up. From like, this is like a movie, right? Sometimes this is how I feel like, oh my God, this is like a movie what I'm listening to. So in these cases, I know I need this extra time, right? Of course, watch your time, but sometimes it can be quite complicated case, can be quite complicated clients. And in that case, you might overrun your session, okay? In that case, make sure you don't cut off your client there and say, okay, your time is up. I have my next client, right? You go. See you next time. Because they're going to be hanging in the air. It's almost like, imagine you go to a dentist and dentist thought there was a small problem, but during the process of drilling your tooth or your old filling, he finds out there's another problem. And imagine your dentist drilled your old filling out and now you have a massive hole in your tooth, and then he sanitized everything, prepared everything, and then he's like, sorry, darling, my time is up. I have to see another client. And he says, off you go. And now you are with a hole in your tooth, not knowing what you're going to do. That's exactly how your client will feel. They're going to have a hole inside of their soul, right? So please remember, low zone is a no zone. We simply never go there, okay? We always leave our clients on a high. We always make sure they feel great, they feel empowered, they feel, inspired, they feel just on a high because they were working with you, right? Because we want that energy, right? We don't want people to feel like, right? It's not what we want, okay? So let's remember that. That says, I really appreciate this live session, Olga. You have such a knack to put a lot of value into really succinct points. Thank you so much appreciated. And Diana loves the dentist analogy. I'm glad you like it. I'm really glad you like it. Yes, guys, it's really important to remember, right, that we need to leave our clients on a high, right? Or they need to leave our sessions on a high, whichever way you want to put it, right? Of course, there are many more other things which you need to know, right? One of the bonus tip which I would like to give here, I know it will sound very much like sales, but it's not. It's just a bonus tip, right? Maimona says, thank you so much, Olga, for sharing this. This is precious. I'm glad you find it very useful. But let me share with you something what to me was a massive revelation. I know it will sound to you probably a bit salesy. You'll think like, oh, there we go, there's a sales point. No, it's not. It is not a sales point at all. But I want you to think about it, okay? When I started my coaching journey, and of course, I wanted to earn more like everybody else, right? Who doesn't want to make more with their job, right? Come on, show me that person, okay? Would be really good if you can show me that person. And I remember somebody told me, Olga, do you have a coach? I was like, no, I am a coach. Why wouldn't I coach? Back to me being arrogant old me, right? I remember that person said, well, you know that every coach must have a coach. And I was like, what? Why wouldn't I coach? I know exactly what I have to do, right? That was me being very arrogant, me being very young, me being, insecure, me being just too proud, okay? Me doing these mistakes, okay? And I wanted to avoid these mistakes. And I remember what I was challenged on. I was like, so how much you charge? I said to him, how much I charged back then. And the question was, why did you hire a coach? Why did you hire somebody who will be like really super expensive for you? And I said, well, because I can't afford them. Right? I just simply can't afford them. And I remember what was told to me. I still remember that. And that's why I know how much it served me. I want to share it with you. I was told this. That's interesting. So you're saying you would like to make more from coaching, but at the same time, you are not seeing the results or the power of working with a coach. How do you expect other people hire you as a coach when you don't believe in coaching? And that was like a slap on my face. I kid you not, okay? That's why I'm here sharing with you that, guys, because I want you to remember that, okay? We can become quite arrogant. We can become like, no, you don't, right? No, you don't, right? Imagine if you are a brain surgeon. Imagine you're a brain surgeon and you know your job inside out. Imagine you are the best brain surgeon in the world. Forget the country, in the world. But now something happened to your brain. Maybe there's a brain tumor. Can you really say, hold on, I'm the best brain surgeon in the world and today I will do operation all myself? Like, really? Good luck with that, okay? We'll see you on the other side in that case, right? It doesn't happen. So here it's important to remember, doesn't matter how good you are. It doesn't matter how good you are, right? Please find somebody who can take you to the next level if you want to go to the next level, okay? That's the whole thing. You don't have to do it. You simply don't have to do it. Just like that brain surgeon can choose to live with a brain tumor. There is a choice, okay? There's a choice we all make, right? And I must tell you something. Since the day I started investing in my coaching, this is when actually I leveled up. And I became braver to ask for more money. And I became braver to increase my fees. And know what's really interesting? The higher your fees are, the easier it is to find clients, right? Because people value good services, right? You get what you pay for, right? So if you don't level up yourself with the power of another coach, you're going to be charging very little and other people will look at you like, must be new. Must be bad. I'm not going to say the other word, which I'm sure you can think of, right? And many other assumptions, right? So please, if there's a big if, big letters if, right? If you're interested in leveling up yourself, okay? If you want to really be that efficient, that really awesome coach, that coach which is making massive changes in the clients' lives in the world, then please invest in yourself. Okay, there's so many coaches around us. Please find them with whom you click, with whom you gel, with whom you really believe and you see they're doing better than you. Okay, they know better than you and they are better than you. Okay, it's not about now making you feeling worse, right? But it's like you don't go for the financial advice to a broke person, right? It's like just not possible. Okay, the best way to ask is if you want to work with a coach, ask them, okay, what is their fee? If you see their fee is a lot higher than yours, okay, that's a good checking point, okay? Next checking point would be maybe, what successes your clients had, right? Or, what type of coaching do you do? Like, ask whatever questions are relevant to you, okay? I don't know what your situation is right now, where you would like to get, right? But I would say somebody whom you trust, somebody with whom you gel, somebody whom you already see made that journey. Okay, don't go to somebody who had never made it, because why would you do it? You don't ask for financial advice from a broken person. Once more, saying that because I want to address it. Okay, that's a bonus tip. Take it or leave it. That's why they include it in the 7 tips, right? Because that's entirely up to you. I'm not here to tell you should do it, but I must say, if you're really wanting to be that powerful coach, then I would say, please choose to do it. Okay, it's not about you should. Please choose to do it if you want to be a really powerful coach. Okay, so thank you so much, guys, for joining me today. It was a pleasure, an absolute pleasure to have you today. I can see more people join me. Exciting. Chelo says, I would love you as my coach. Well, darling, you are more than welcome. What can I say? In fact, whoever clicked with me, whoever, was really enjoying this and really feels like you can grow more, feel free to message me, right? You can either message me on WhatsApp or on social media, whichever you're watching me right now, and we can have a conversation, right? I help already so many coaches to uplift themselves, to up-level themselves, and make a huge difference. So if you want to be that coach, let's do it. I'm so passionate about this. I know it sounds really silly. Why would I want to help coaches? I'm not the person who does that only, right? It's just something where people came to me, they came to me for that, they saw the value, and this how I actually start happening, right? Because I had my own journey already, right? I know there are lots of coaching programs and there are lots of things which, especially I'm sure you get bombarded on LinkedIn by people saying, oh, I would like to make you 6 figures, whatever, whatever. Lots of people, right? But let's remember, it is about becoming that phenomenal coach. All right. So please get in touch with me. I would love to help you because I'm so passionate about that. And I have already so many people. So you could be the next person who would be the extraordinary coach. And I'm sure you are already deep inside of you. Just maybe you didn't dig that out of you. So thank you so much. I really appreciate you guys. Dana says your analogies are really good. Having a giggle about the brain surgeon doing his own surgery. That's exactly what coaches think they can do. That's exactly what I was thinking I was doing, right? I can't, and you can't. Nobody can, right? So please level up. Please learn more. Please be more patient. Please listen more and hear within the listening, right? Please allow your clients to have their own journey, to have their own path, wherever they do, right? And please make sure you use different methods within your style with different clients, right? So you can serve your clients in the best way. And make sure all your clients are left on a very high, because that's exactly what we want to do. We want your clients to remember the phenomenal experience after working with you. And learn. That's exactly where I would like to leave you at. Please learn, up level yourself. So thank you so much, guys. Please do get in touch with me if you have any questions. Your questions are more than welcome. I'll wish you a wonderful weekend, and I'll see you on Monday morning at 7:30 a.m. on LinkedIn. So please connect with me on LinkedIn for kickstart your day with a bit of inspiration with me, where I come and I can answer any of your questions within those 10 minutes. We can work together on your questions, your powerful, burning questions, but that's going to happen on LinkedIn at 7:30 a.m. So have an absolutely wonderful weekend, whatever you do. Any questions are welcome. Please contact me and I'll send you my kisses and my hugs and my love. Thank you. I appreciate you.